Hello, my court case is Griswold v. Connecticut, took place in 1965, and my group members are Patrick Lim and Kenneth Costco. Some background info. In 1879, Connecticut passed a law that banned contraception, which is trying to prevent pregnancy as a result of sexual intercourse. Charles Lee Buxton was a gynecologist at the Yale School of Medicine, and he opened up a birth control clinic in New Haven with the head of Planned Parenthood in Connecticut, Estelle Griswold. They basically gave some info and medical advice to married couples who wanted to prevent conception. They were both arrested and fined for $100 for breaking the law that said any person who aids or causes contraception will be prosecuted. Why were Charles Lee Buxton and Estelle Griswold arrested and fined? They violated an anti-contraceptive law passed in Connecticut. Any person who assists, abets, counsels, causes, hires, or commands another to commit any offense may be prosecuted and punished as if he were the principal offender. The petitioner argued that Buxton and Griswold violated an anti-contraceptive law and were arrested and fined for $100 each. They then appealed to Supreme Court, claiming that the law violated their constitutional rights. Griswold argued that the law violated the right to privacy of an individual. Although the right to privacy isn't explicitly found in the Constitution, Justice William Douglas wrote for the majority that specific guarantees in the Bill of Rights have penumbras, formed by emanations from those guarantees that help give them life and substance. They also plan to use the clinic to challenge the constitutionality of the law under the 14th Amendment, which is no state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws.
So for the next question, the question says, what did Griswold and Buxton argue? I will give you some time to answer that question. The answer to that question is that they argued that it violated the right to privacy of an individual. They plan to challenge the constitutionality of the law under the 14th Amendment, which states that no state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States. So like the court cases we've learned about before, the Chief Justice for this case was Earl Warren. So Earl Warren and the Supreme Court made the decision of 7-2 for Griswold, where the court ruled that the Constitution protected the right of privacy against the state restrictions on contraception. The court explained that the Constitution does not explicitly protect the general right to privacy and the various guarantees within the Bill of Rights which creates areas that establish the right to privacy. The First, Third, Fourth, and Ninth Amendments creates the right to privacy in marital relations. And Justice Harlan, who was part of the Supreme Court, argued that the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment protects that right to privacy. So basically, the 14th Amendment was the basis for the decision. The third question is, what did the court rule? So basically, what was the vote count and what did the court say?
So what did the court rule? The court ruled that the Constitution protected the right to privacy against the restriction on contraception. This is inherent in the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment, which protects the right to privacy. So why does this case matter? The main reason why this court case is significant is that the Supreme Court ruling that contraception is allowed to be used by married people paved the way for the reproductive privacy and freedoms of today. And for our two other reasons why we think this case matters, the first one, the U.S. Supreme Court case Griswold v. Connecticut resulted in a reversal of a law that prohibited contraceptives from being used, which impacted women's rights positively. And the other reason as to why this court case is significant is that it helped influence the Supreme Court's abortion case, Roe v. Wade. So what was the significance of this case? I'm asking for the main significance that I mentioned in the previous slide. I will give you some time to think about your answer. So for the last question, The answer was that this case was important because the Supreme Court ruled the right to use contraception for married people is basically paved the way for today's reproductive privacy and freedoms. Game time.